Welcome to Downtown Now here at Skylight Cinema.
I'm excited to be here. This is an awesome place.
I am too, and you know we live in a quickly growing creative scene here in downtown Bentonville. You know, we have Crystal Bridges Forest Concert Series, we have House of Songs and Haxton Road Studios right here in our beautiful downtown.
We've got Fresh Grass and Format, two newer festivals that are drawing thousands of people to Bentonville. I think it's safe to say, Dana, that this community likes to dance, likes to boogie, likes to get down, or as us old folks say, cut a rug.
And for those folks that are a lot cooler than me, the Momentary hosted a concert that is going down in the history books. Questlove, Tariq, and the rest of the hip-hop legends, The Roots, were on the stage at the Momentary. More than 5,000 people were there. It was a sold-out show. It is the highest attended concert in the Momentary's history. It actually does look kind of cool. I wish I was there. Now, The Roots are multiple Grammy Award winners and, of course, the house band for The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And again, now The Roots are in the Bentonville record books. Good music and good movies go hand in hand. Skylight Cinema is our host this week for Downtown Now. They also love to host local movie makers. Check this out.
The crazy thing is it starts as a thought. So you have this thought, you have this idea.
Tell your father got those moving boxes ordered.
Will do, thanks.
And the idea then goes on paper. And then you start casting and looking for locations. And then you shoot it. And then you, like you say, edit, sound design, music. And it all comes together. And then you sit in a theater like here at the Skylight Cinema and watch what a year ago was just a thought.
You gotta know it's out there.
I'm not skipping school tomorrow.
The natural beauty of the natural state is drawing the attention of movie makers.
And that's the great thing, is you get the support here.
Johnny REMO was one of the first to recognize how well Arkansas and Bentonville would play on the silver screen.
So you have the people that are just as genuine, you know, they'll tell you straight up, you know, what they're feeling, but as genuine as you can get and as willing to help as you can get, along with the beauty. I mean, you know, not just Bentonville, but all of Northwest Arkansas, Arkansas in general. So it's a combination of all of that.
In 2007, REMO founded Skip Stone Pictures. And since then, he tells us he's made about a half dozen films here.
Whoa.
From a story about a robot and a kid with a Bentonville backdrop.
What's your name?
Freddie.
Hi, Freddie. I'm James. This is Danny.
To this, his latest project that has Northwest Arkansas all over it.
Do you know how big this is for us?
It's basically about the pride before the fall, is what it is.
It's called God's Country Song. It was recently released to audiences. It's a film about more than just the highs and lows of country music. It's simply the highs and lows of life.
You know, he learns. You know, he learns that that family's most important, and I think it's needed in today's day and age.
What's right in front of me? I'm 4 wheels on the ground. Think I'm ready to slow it down.
I just really wouldn't want to shoot anywhere else. I hope nothing changes.
So the hope is now God's Country Song will have a nationwide release, of course, followed up by streaming services.
From Hollywood in the heartland to a cafe hideaway, Airship Coffee at Kohler is not your typical coffee shop.
When you see people coming down a trail and they don't know that there's a cafe around the corner, and you see them turn this corner and they go, and they're just like super surprised, and then they're happy and they come up and they go, what is this?
It's not your everyday coffee shop. It's not located in our bustling downtown, and it doesn't have interior seating. But when you walk up to the new Airship at Homestead, what you do experience can only be described as unwinding, de-stressing, breathing easy, and feeling one with nature.
It's easy just to come park and take that minute to get that fresh air, to get that sunshine, to move your body, and then come to a place where you get to enjoy some good food and good coffee and good drinks and some good community outside to just wake your body up.
From the architecture design of Moda's studio to the small touches like swings and a rooftop patio, This cafe is intentionally designed to put customers back in touch with the simpler side of life.
The idea is that it integrates into the landscape here and just sort of fits in. If you look out from the porch down below, it kind of frames the valley, and you look out and you see a couple of old barns and the creek going through the valley, and it's just meant to give you a perspective of the natural world here.
AIRSHIP is known locally for its exceptional coffee, but Mark and Amber want visitors to know there's something for everyone in their cafe hideaway, from unique coffees like mushroom coffee to wine, beer, kombucha, and menu items like Ozark Trail tacos.
We're smoking all the meats ourselves. We have slow smoked pork butt, we have Texas style smoked brisket, smoked chicken, and then we put that on tacos. So, you know, if the coffee and the beer and the kombucha wasn't enough to get you out here, then maybe a barbecue taco would.
An AIRSHIP coffee at Kohler does not have Wi-Fi, so come ready to unwind and unplug. And just a side note, I very highly recommend the pork nachos.
I don't like to play favorites, but you're right, best nachos in town. Coming up next, Bentonville students learn about courage and compassion in action, thanks to a leader of an international movement. That story is coming up in our downtown conversation.
Scarlett Lewis founded the Jesse Lewis Choose Love movement back in 2012 after her son Jesse was murdered in the Sandy Hook Elementary tragedy. Choose Love teaches children to handle adversity, have courageous conversations, and respond with love. The movement is shared through free curriculum available online and within over 10,000 schools across the world. Choose Love even made a stop right here in downtown Bentonville, and we sat down with Scarlett Lewis in this week's Downtown Conversation. On November 9th, you were downtown for a big event. I want to talk a little bit about that and your Choose Love movement today, but let's talk about the event that happened. There were a lot of children. It was hosted by Bentonville schools, and all of those children were learning and laughing, and some of them running around and having a great time. There was music and food. What was that like to experience here on the Bentonville Square?
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, this is what we think about when we think about joy and living in America. It's being together with families, really anywhere. A healthy community is one that gets together and celebrates themselves and each other, and just literally the epitome of what my goal has been, and that is to spread Jesse's message of nurturing, healing, love, have people embrace it, practice this concept of choosing love as a thoughtful response every day, and having a lot of fun is a really big part of that. And we did that just through song and dance and connection and belonging and compassion. It was just beautiful.
All of this is part of the Choose Love movement, and we have to talk about Jesse, a 6-year-old little boy. I want to know about him as a person, as a child. What was he into? What was he like?
Jesse, I love talking about him. I like to say he was born 11 pounds, so a little bit larger than life.
Yeah.
And he literally was that way his entire life. He was bouncing off the walls. He had this really, I call it like an Owen Meany voice. If you've ever read the book Owen Meany by John Irving, there's this little boy, and everything that the little boy says is in capital letters. So that's very much like Jesse. And he was just so active. We live on a little farm. And so my philosophy was, we didn't have a TV. I wanted the boys outside and playing. And if they came home at the end of the night with dirty fingernails, then they'd had a really good time. Everybody slept well. at Wild Rose Farm.
And then start it all again the next day.
That's
with
right.
A bunch more energy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
On December 14th, 2012, the nation watched as a very angry young man, walked into Sandy Hook Elementary School and gunned down 20 students, including Jesse. Jesse died as a hero, and he died saving other children. I want to talk about that and his heroic efforts in the last moments of his life.
I think it's really important to mention too that the angry young man was a recent former graduate of the Newtown school system that was going back to the school that he had attended, to the very classrooms that he had sat in as a first grader. So he knew where the first graders were. He was looking for soft targets. He played video games. He knew the languaging. He shot the gun in the video games that he used, and shot his way through the glass doors. And this is after killing his mom at his house before he left. Went to the elementary school, shot his way through the glass doors, and made a left down the first grade hallway. His guidance counselor, actually, his actual guidance counselor, as well as my older son and Jesse's guidance counselor, along with the principal, walked out of a meeting room that they were having with another parent, and he shot them dead, and then he turned left into Jesse's classroom. And the students were scattered, and he continued shooting. He killed Jesse's teacher, who was standing right behind him, and then his gun either jammed or ran out of bullets. And during the short delay when he was changing his clip, Jesse yelled for his friends to run. And they credit his brave actions for saving their lives now. So 9 lives, which is really amazing. And then Adam, reloaded and then killed the rest of the people in that room, and then everyone, unfortunately, in the next classroom, until he heard approaching police sirens, and then he went back into the first classroom and killed himself. So it was a total of 20 first graders and 6 educators, and then 28, including Adam and his mom.
You're preparing for your son's funeral, and you're in your home, and everything at that point, the trajectory of your life is changed. And Jesse left you a message, and that changed your outlook. Tell me about that and how it was the catalyst for everything that we see today with Choose Love.
It's absolutely amazing, because when something like that happens, your body goes into shock for survival. And I remember thinking, I wonder if I will survive this. So just to give you an idea of where I actually was. And I thought that I would never be able to go home to this little farmhouse that where I raised my 2 boys as a single mom. But I found myself having to get Jesse's clothes for him to wear in the casket. You never think about these things, right? And you shouldn't have to.
No.
So I went back home with a bunch of family members and got his clothes, was on my way out with my bundle, and I see these 3 words on our kitchen chalkboard: nurturing, healing, love. Phonetically spelled, because he was in first grade and just learning to write. But I knew, seeing those, that if Adam Lanza, the former student, the shooter, had been able to give and receive nurturing, healing, love, the tragedy would never have happened. It's so simple. People who love themselves don't want to hurt themselves or other people. We know that hurt people hurt people. And I thought, wow, this is the solution. And so literally from that moment on, I have spent every day spreading that message of nurturing, healing, love, which is what we saw on the Bentonville Square, which is just so beautiful. It was just a perfect representation of it.
I want to talk about how this is implemented in the school system. We can talk about here locally, but it's in over 10,000 schools worldwide. It's no-cost curriculum. Tell me what the kids are learning and how they're learning it and how they're interacting with each other in the school environment.
So it's no cost lifespan curriculum. So we start prenatally and we go all the way up to communities and businesses because it's based on a formula. And this formula helps you get in between what's happening in your life and your thoughtful response, and it helps you choose love. And of course, that is the more powerful response than reacting in anger and hatred and revenge. When you do that, you're not in control. Your survival brain is in control. And we want to be working from our prefrontal cortex, which is the newest part of our brain. It's what differentiates us from animals, that we can actually choose in every situation, circumstance, or interaction how we thoughtfully respond. And we can use this wonderful, we call human brain. We teach neuroscience along with this. So there are a series of lessons all within the framework of this powerful formula. We teach social and emotional learning. We teach growth mindset, neuroscience, positive psychology, mindfulness, all on a base of post-traumatic growth. And post-traumatic growth is research showing that when we go through difficulty, we have the capacity to grow. And I say this is actually how we're created, to grow through difficulty. It gets our attention. We have to make changes, and hopefully we have some skills and tools that they are positive changes. And then we are more prepared when the next challenge comes along in our lives. We can either be taken down by hurt and pain, or we can learn from it, grow through it, and be strengthened by it. And of course, we know that as human beings, we all want to love and be loved. And without love, we suffer. But we all also feel hurt and pain. And we know that our kids are going to feel hurt and pain, and we don't want them to. And we may do everything that we can to keep them from that. But we know at some point they're going to. So it is really our responsibility to fortify them with the skills and tools they need to take that pain and learn from it. And then hopefully use that wisdom from that learned experience to help other people.
I wish everyone could experience sitting next to you, because you're just a wonderful, positive presence. And I thank you for sitting down with us today. We're going to share all the resources, link to all of it so that everyone watching can access all the free curriculum. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We all need to choose love a little bit more. Coming up after the break, a canine companion with a heart of gold. Downtown Now continues. And finally this morning, we want to introduce you to a local four-legged hero who is helping out Bentonville residents going through trying times.
Hi, my name is Kelly Stockman, and this is Sir Edmund. Together we are a registered therapy animal team through Pet Partners. He's an Anatolian Shepherd, about 7 years old, and brings lots of love to people everywhere. And what Sir Edmund does and other therapy animals do is they really hold space for a person to be able to be in the present moment. So whatever they're stressed about, whatever they're worried about, when they're with him, it doesn't matter. It just melts away. One place we primarily volunteer at is at Circle Life Hospice. We've been a therapy dog team for 4 years now, and Circle Life was the first place that we went to regularly. We've had some really remarkable experiences there in meeting particularly with the families as they are in a difficult time when they have to say goodbye to a loved one, and bringing Edmund into that space, his presence, and he just brings a calm and a peace, and numerous families have just been so appreciative of having him stop by. The joy of therapy animals and what they do is to really bring peace to people, help them de-stress and be in the present moment. And if anybody out there is interested in having a therapy animal, just really look at Helping Paws of NWA on Facebook for more information on how to do that.
And that's it for this episode of Downtown Now. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Sunday morning. Aaron, where did you go?
Oh, Dana, I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
Well, you know, I thought we were finished, and so Jared said that I could go get some snacks and watch a movie. That's why we love Skylight Cinema. I would encourage everybody to come on out to downtown Bentonville, enjoy a film here, great food, even some drinks and fantastic snacks. So I'm gonna go watch my film.
Some snacks.
Thanks for watching Downtown Now. We'll see you next time right here on KFSM. I gotta go.
The sun is 93 million miles away. The least we can do is give it a warm welcome each morning.